welcome back, and happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. Let's see if we can keep taking this account up. We started at 500. We have made it little by little to 1300, and you can see here the stats so far. Let me just make sure I get ready for us to continue. I gotta refresh, I guess. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Perfect. I think, am I gonna be able to do this? Uh-oh. Well, I think I put the wrong title. Hello, guys. Hello. All right, we're gonna get started. We're gonna fix our problems along the way. Let me change this to 5-5. And here we go. So we're gonna be using the same opening system, both as white and black. Paris, how are you? I paid you a visit actually earlier this year. All right, D4. Let's see if we can get London system right away. So we know what to play against it. Actually, knight c3, and this could still be the Jobava London, or they could transpose into a Pierce defense with the idea of playing queen d2 and so on. So I'm gonna go c6. Anytime I see any aggressive setup, I'm going to prioritize that. So I'm gonna go queen a5. Notice how they haven't developed the king side, so it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Hey, nice to see you here. Now we're playing 5-5. We are playing 5-5 indeed. All right, so b5. We know this by now. You've seen it since we started at 500. Anytime they go opposite, we just play c6, b5, try to attack on that side of the board. All right, they said no. We're gonna go knight b to d7, nothing crazy. Hey. Now, of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me see if I can do what I wanted to do here. Okay, this should do it. Okay. All right, so my opponent is already putting pressure in the center. I could take, or I could just ignore it. I always have this idea of knight h5. I just want to know if I should play it right now, or if I should take first and then go knight h5. b4 is also in the air. To open or not to open the file, and this is something I want to review. By the way, if you're doing this on your own and you get into a position like this, so like, oh, no one has told me what to play. Well, when you finish the game, first thing you have to do is review it, analyze it, and especially if you get destroyed, you're not gonna forget what the right continuation is. So I'm thinking pawn takes, knight h5. I should be okay, but do I really want this? Shouldn't be a problem. If I go knight h5, what if they take? I guess I take, they take back, I take, rook e1 check, and I could just move over and stay in the center, and then king c7, and I'll be fine. Let me go with that. Let me go with knight h5. Well, welcome aboard. We all have been there. Hey. No, just trying. I'm not taking challenges from viewers. Just trying to get this account as high as possible with the material covered in the course. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, we're playing a 1674. Hopefully they treat us well. Welcome to the club then. Just know any opening you pick, there's always that line that's gonna be confusing, it's gonna be tricky, and whoever plays it more often, whoever has it better prepared should be the one in control. Now I'm gonna take this, I'm not even gonna think about it. That's a big capture right there. Now D takes or B4. Let me take first. I'm not so concerned about this. There's no battery, so I'm not so scared. B4 has to be played. Remember, their king is castled on this side. If I manage to open up lines towards it, why not? Also, you have ideas of, bishop h6. So let me see if I can get to it. Now, do I want check or do I want queen takes e5? Check looks very, very nice. Let me just take. Now, luckily my king is not on d8, otherwise they could take with check, eliminate the defender of the queen, and then boom, they take it. Now, my opponent needs to decide, do they want to go into an endgame? I don't think they will trade queens because he's a stronger player. 1674, 300 points above. They don't want to get into an endgame. Plus, they're thinking, well, my opponent is less experienced. If I keep the queens, I keep things complicated, they're going to make a mistake sooner or later. So I don't think they would trade queens. The alternative is for them to just move something like queen f3, putting pressure on c6. Let's see. Yeah, I knew they were not going to trade queens, and that's okay. Now this is coming, I guess. Now a5, what are you going to do about it? I guess b5 is coming. Yeah, I considered that, but at the end of the day, it's just a cheap trick. And I don't want to be playing like that. One move threads, I cannot assume my opponent is not going to see it. And at the end of the day, h5 doesn't really contribute to anything else. I'll be just moving a pawn instead of improving my pieces. The way I got it now, I'm ready to castle. And I don't think their king is safer than mine, if I castle. Now, same question, are you going to trade? Or are you going to keep the queens to try to make it more complicated? Un placer, un placer. Saludos, saludos. Push what pawn? Push what pawn? Ah, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to improve my knight, open up my bishop. If I castle, I'm going to feel so much better. Bishop d7. It's a little bit tricky to put the bishop over here, but I like the fact that my bishop is 2 squares away from that knight, so that means we control the knight. Interesting pattern. Okay, so not a big deal. We protect that pawn. We have 2 weak pawns. They have doubled pawns over here. And the best thing about this position for me is that I have the pair of bishops. Let's see if we can take advantage of it. This move is going to be very, very ugly, but I feel like I have to do it. How about c5? They penetrate. All right, as ugly as it is, I don't see them occupying this square. I mean, my bishop is ugly, 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 but you cannot have it all. Ah, okay, so let's see if we can, let's see if we can apply that here. Hello. Probably their pieces are more active, But now I'm only thinking, let's use this opportunity as training to try to improve this possession. This is just training. Whenever you blunder a piece, whenever you get a bad position, instead of getting frustrated, think, let me make it a training exercise. How can I turn things around? All right. My friend is trying to come over here. Okay, let me just castle. Knight is coming to c5. And we keep getting ugly, very, very ugly. But maybe rook d8 was better. We will improve it. Now think, what would be my ideal position? If I could put my pieces anywhere, what would I want them to be? And then little by little, you start working towards it. What do you mean never resign? Okay, so there we go. These are coming over. So here's my first piece of improvement. e5, get the knight away from the center. Eventually, I might want to play f5, maybe get my bishop over here. Okay, so that's that. Now, this is being attacked. This is being attacked, my friend. The question is, where do I want the knight? Do I want it on c4? Do I want it on f4? I like f4 better, I think. Let me go to f4. You know, that's a good point. I'll just do my setup. D6 and everything, and then put my pawn on e5. I'll just do my setup. Cha-cha-cha. Uh-oh, now this is good for us, I think. It has to be good for us. It has to be good for us. Now, my pawn structure is destroyed. I'm not even going to argue that. And you might not like it. But my rook is active. I didn't have to move my rook to put it on an open file. They did that for us. Okay, this has to be good. This is the defender of the bishop. We put pressure on it. I think that bishop has to move now. It was probably better. It was probably better. I decided on f4 because you see I provoked. Man, let me do the right moves here. Almost works. All right, my opponent is also making moves. What can I tell you? Okay, that was the move. Maybe I have to play this. Look, this is very, very ugly. Using my king instead of the bishop to defend, but I can see my ideal position with the king on e7. I cannot see the rooks attacking me there. Let's see. Let's see. Although I blocked my rook, so this was definitely a mistake. All right. So my king is in good position. I just need to improve this bishop. If I could do g5, bishop g6, that would be great. Or actually c5, bishop c6. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Now, if the knight moves, I'm taking on f2 with a check. So I like that. Doing great, doing great. Thanks for dropping by. Yes, it was hanging. And I think they had time for me to move over and then defend. I just don't know if they want to allow my pieces to get that activated. This pawn is falling anyways. I don't think they wanted to take it so quickly. Okay, so that move is very interesting. All right. That was a very interesting move. Now look at this, ugly move, blocking my bishop, but I need to improve this guy. This is the worst piece I have. So I'm thinking bishop g6, eventually h5. And notice that as I do all of these ugly moves, my opponent is consuming more time because psychologically he's thinking, I'm better, I need to prove it. But honestly, it's not so easy. Thank you. All right, so they keep putting pressure. I'm gonna do this, I have to do it. But what for? Well, put this, check. Something is going to fall. I guess something is going to fall. Now h5 is in the air, followed by rook f3. Oop, followed by rook f3. Okay, I think this is winning material. So you see, the moment my bishop, of course, I'm not saying I did a great plan. My opponent definitely made a mistake. But you see, the moment we activate our pieces, then something is going to start to, I mean, we're going to get something out of it. The alternative was bishop takes e6, but then this falls, I believe. Okay, so we get this now. Look, I have to confess something to you. I did nothing. So it's probably YouTube that takes a while to process that. But I did nothing about that. Someone told me about the 240 pixels. I haven't done anything. I just posted it. I guess it takes a while to process all of that. All right, there's no way we're losing this game now. I mean, I've done it. I've messed it up, sadly. But we shouldn't. We're winning by a clean piece. We shouldn't be losing this game. Now, I'm happy to trade pieces. Like if I take, bishop f6. I don't want to give you any counterplay. This should be the move. That's it. And then I got a pass pawn and everything. But I'm a little bit concerned about counterplay over here. So let's not rush it. There's nothing for me to prove. I don't see them checkmating me here. They have only 2 rooks and they are on the wrong side of the board. Should I push you? Should I not? They probably want to play rook a6, yeah. And then I need to go here because I don't want to be pinned. b5, actually no, king d6 was the move. b5 fails to king c5. But again, I don't want to be fancy. I just want to not give him anything, no counterplay. Yeah, nobody likes the pawn islands, but when you're at peace, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now my my king journey is just to get to b8. Let me go actually to here, to b7. That's it. My king is from the center to the king side, now to the queen side. Okay, after this move, I think we're defending everything. And now the pawn goes. And now the pawn goes. That's it. It's a pass pawn. We need to push it. They cannot even get behind it. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the pawn hanging. I just did not see it. All right. I shouldn't be trading so many pawns. I should not be trading so many pawns. Okay, now we're good. And to be honest, my pawn is even, the promotion square is a dark square, so we should be okay with this. Now, pawns and bishop, don't let the king get any closer. We should be okay. These guys cannot move. If this moves, we take. If this moves, we take. Although I have to see if I want to take and let them go over here. I don't think I want to, not yet. Let me improve the king, it's an endgame. Vasil in the house. What's going on, Vasil? What's going on? All right, I don't think these guys are gonna do anything. It shouldn't be. Let's go. Let's go. No, from Cuba. From Cuba. All right, no rush. Remember, there's no special prize for winning this quickly. I probably am better just by going to f5, but let me bring the king over, try to play bishop c3 in due time. I want to make sure that I do this when the king is... Well, I don't think it makes sense. Now, let me calculate a little bit. I have over a minute. Bishop c3, b5. Actually, what about bishop d6? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Yeah. Cha-cha-cha. This should do it. Now, I thought I was going to lose to this fork, but we should be okay with it. The king is just too far. Yeah, this is ours. Hey, I almost blow it. No. Yeah, that's it. We got that one. Tricky game. It was a very, very tricky game. Now, if I get into a game like this where I had some points where I was hesitating, I'm going to go back to the course, see if it was covered. Of course, most of those lines are covered up to move number 10 only. So the more you play this, the more you lose games with it, the better you're going to become at it. Now, before we move over, let me take a quick look at this initial position. And let me go all the way here. Okay, so again, it looks like queen's pawn opening. So I'm going to play my King's Indian defense setup. Then bishop f4 is like, oh, you're going to play the London. I got a plan for it. But then knight c3 is like, Jababa London, or are you going to play e4 and then transpose into a Pierce defense? Well, e4 indeed. Then queen a5 quickly. And after castling queenside, if I show you, you're going to see this is actually pretty even possession. 0.7, 0.3, it means nothing. So this is roughly equal. Of course, it is a sharp position. This kind of positions almost made me completely abandon this opening. Because what I was doing is I was just castling right away and they had a very easy plan to attack me. So if I go back to b5, a3, knight b to d7. Now let me see if knight b to d7 makes sense. Now apparently b4 right now is the move. Just don't be afraid, man. Just go crazy against that king. Knight b to d7 is the second best move. Even bishop g7 is okay. Now if I go b4, what if they go something like I take on e4. So they gotta take queen a1, knight b1, and then we take anyways. So look, these little ideas, I'm going to take a look at them. Maybe next time I get this position, I forget. It's okay. I review it again, and after 4 or 5 times, then I finally register it. And that's it. That's how you become an expert at these systems. Now, I went with the more natural knight b to d7, e5, and here I want to see if I made the right decision. I play knight h5, which is not that bad, but better was to just take or just to play b4. So it's either b4 or d takes followed by b4. Just know this a3 is not really stopping us from playing b4. So there you go, bishop b2. I took. Notice that b4 is always in the air, But then I start getting fancy and I played it. I played it at the wrong time. Still, 0.3 means nothing. But just keep it cool, man. Queen c7, pinning it, bishop g7, putting pressure on the pawn. Actually, this would have been nice. And castle. And you get a very nice position. So there you go. We play and we learn. So we got that game. Let me go to the next one. And I'm going to change the score. So we got 119 games. And we're searching for an opponent. We got the black pieces again, which is great. Bien, muy bien. ¿Cómo estás tú? Gonna play for a few hours and then we'll see what we make it. I'm thinking either 14 or 1500. And actually, the title of the speedrun is wrong. We started at 1300. All right, there you go, there you go. So you're going full mode with it, right? All right, this d4 c4 is already King's Indian defense. There's nowhere around it. Now, if they play 4, we get into the classical setup or the classical variation. Well, that's actually what I do. I'm not doing it now because in the course, to make it more consistent, I'm always starting with d6. But when I play it, I like to start with g6 because I don't want to allow this bishop g5. Now, d6 also prevents that. But when you play the King's Indian defense, you typically start with knight f6. And I don't like the Trompowsky. Nothing crazy about it. It's just that if I could avoid learning openings or memorizing lines, well. Okay, I'm going to go bishop g4. In the course, when we went over the part of the King's Indian defense, knight b to d7 was a recurring move. But the whole point of the course is to provide you with this setup and a few plans, and then you pick the plan you like. Knight b to d7 is perfectly fine, but let me go around with this one. I remove the defender of d4, and when I play knight c6, I'm going to be putting pressure on that pawn. They have to react to it. Don't forget, the whole point is to provoke white to advance these pawns. They're perfect the way they are. Now, I'm really hoping they advance because automatically we get good squares for our knight, for our pieces. There you go, man. Glad to see that. Glad to see that you haven't forgotten it. All right, so here, e5. By the way, I hope everything is going okay with you. All right, I hope that romantic moment was positive. All right, e5, striking the center right away, or I could play knight d7, just adding more pressure to it. So many people don't like this. I really like it. Just let's go back. People many times forget about the bishop and they drop the pawn. But even if they don't, we just keep going back and then counter attacking. Okay, knight b4 I like, but let me just go e5. Perfect. We got what we wanted. Now c5 becomes available. But more than that, I'm going to put my knight in the center. We're going to take a look at it after. I think it's perfectly fine here. If they take, well, automatically, again, we get these very nice squares for our pieces. The dark square strategy, we talk about it over and over in the course. All right, man. Good. Family's back. So congrats on that. And let's try to enjoy life as much as we can. All right, 95. Candidate move, knight c5, candidate move, rook e8, interesting move. Rook e8, interesting move. Let me go queen e7. Now, we got doubled pawns, but don't forget these doubled pawns come with benefits, such as the semi-open file. Now this move, thematic, we've seen it over and over. The idea is to put the knight on c5 without them pushing us. So there we go. There you go. We're putting it together. No, not every day. But whenever I have some time, I get on it. All right, now we got the knight where we want it to be. We got the bishop where we want it to be. Queen is okay where it is. What to do next? Maybe the queen is not where it needs to be. I'm thinking 6. I'm thinking queen h4. Queen f6 is not bad. Yeah, let me go queen f6. Now, it's a little bit counterintuitive, or actually it was probably a mistake. I moved the queen here and then here again. I should have gone straight to f6. But as bad as it is really important that we learn to acknowledge our mistakes. I made the mistake. Don't be like, oh, I cannot move it again because then I'm acknowledging it. Well, you have to just own it and improve on it. That's it, correct it. Take. Yeah, I gotta take. Okay, so we take. Now, for all I know, these pawns are going to be weak. I like that. Now, the question is, how do I go about this? I could take, they take, and I go rook e8. If f4, f6. So this, I think, is winning material. Now, if I take, they take, then I take the rook, they take my rook, I take the pawn with check, king g2, knight h4, king g3, knight f5, and then I collect. I think we win material here. And it's funny because now, if they take and we go rook e8, they cannot even double here. I think we're winning material, right? This is pinned. They cannot even go here because of the pawn. The bishop cannot retreat to defend. f4, we play f6. Okay. I do it. Now, is it the best way? Probably not. Are you going to get a huge advantage out of the opening? Maybe not. But you're always going to be in your elements. Are you calling me computer material? All right, f6. Again, I might be missing something. It wouldn't be the first time, but I think we get that bishop. I like that. Pin and win. To pin or not to pin? All right, we got that one. Very interesting game, by the way. Very interesting game. Now, let me update the score here. So that will be the 120th. Okay. Hey, what did I do? New 55. Thank you, sir. Thanks, like always. All right, I think this is the first game we get with the white pieces, and we're going to use the same setup. Same setup as the white pieces. I mean, that we learned as the black pieces, we use it as white. But we have one move ahead, where we are one move ahead. D3 against anyone, against the... Now, like I said in the course, and like I always tell you, ideally you'd have a different opening for white, maybe e4. That way you expand your horizons. But if you feel like playing the same thing as white, nothing wrong with it. All right, king to safety. Yes, look, this is like, I always tell my students, this is like someone who runs every day, and then all of a sudden you take a break from running. When you come back, you're going to be out of shape. And I feel it too. When I'm doing my tactics, nothing crazy, just doing my tactics regularly, I'm good. If I put them aside for a few days or for a week, I'm going to feel it. We have to be in shape, guys. We have to stay in shape. Okay, knight b to d7. Look, this is a very weird setup. I don't even know what this is. So I'm just going to see what plan allows me to be in my elements, and we go from there. Knight b to d2 allows me to play 4. One thing you're going to hear a lot when you put the knight on d2 or on d7 if you're black is, well, what about this bishop? I don't like it. What you have in front of it is a knight. It's very easy to move. Like, look, I already moved it. Bishop is coming out. And even if it doesn't come out that early, don't worry. Leave it there. Sooner or later, you're going to improve the bishop. Just know it's okay. All right, let me improve my bishop. It's all about getting your pieces out. Don't try to get fancy. No. Look, if you're subscribed to the channel, you should be getting a notification like 30 minutes earlier. I don't have a set schedule. I should, but I don't. All right. E5. I feel like I don't want to even push the pawn. No one is attacking it. So let me play c3. I get the feeling this is going to come over here, and I might have some tactics coming in the future. Let me go queen c2. In our system, we see this a lot. The pawn going to c6 or to c3. And then the queen goes to c2. So I'm just doing the same things over and over And this is already move number 13. I've been to the UK, actually only to London, loved it. And but I haven't played chess there. You know, I haven't been like playing chess all over. No. I just played a few tournaments here and there. Got my national master. I've never been like you know, like playing chess as it's been my main thing ever. But to answer your question, in January there's one here in South Florida, and I'm thinking about playing it. I still don't know. It's like mid-January. We'll see. We'll see. For now, let me continue to improve my pieces. Nothing crazy. Interesting, but what for, huh? No, look, for me, it's always been those opposite sidelines. They get sharp. You have to be careful. So they could have done it too, but we already know what to do. We just do the same thing, but we do it with the white pieces. Now, this move, it's okay. I was looking for it. Now, bishop e7. I like bishop e7 now. Let's go. I'm thinking, can I play rook d6 after? Or is it too fancy for no reason? I'll be provoking f6. And then queen b3. Like, this is a weak square. Okay, so rook d6. You have to play f6. What would Magnus play here, huh? Let me not even try to find out. Knight h4, queen e6. And then we move. Why not? Let me go back. Let me not even get fancy. I thought of bishop d6 or rook d6, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Now, they still have to solve the problem of improving this knight. Okay, so that's what I wanted. I don't know how I'm gonna use this, but I think I can use it. No, you know, knight f3 is more. I mean, I think it makes more sense than pawn to d3. Like, pawn to d3 is just a pawn to d3, right? Knight f3 is already controlling the center. You're developing the knight. I think it's the way to go about it. I like knight f3 better than e4 because with e4, it could go into different setups. If you play knight f3, you're doing your thing in your territory. You're building your pieces, building your system, and then you apply the plans that we have talked about. Honestly, whenever you hear the word system, the move order doesn't really matter that much. So if you start with d3 or knight f3, it's not a big deal. It does have the surprise factor. Like, whenever you play d3 like I did now, it's like, what is this guy playing? Many people might even think at the not so experienced level that you don't even know what you're doing. What? d3? And then they leave their guard down. All of that is possible. Now, knight d6 is not that bad, but bishop d6 I think makes more sense. If they take, well, that's the fork we wanted. And notice that all we've done is get our setup in place. We used the knight b to d2 e4 plan. And now we're looking for weak squares. f5 is a weak square. d6 is a weak square. What to do? Bishop d6, queen d6, knight d6, rook d8. They cannot play rook d8. I don't think they're gonna play rook d8. Queen b3 is in the air, so probably rook e7 is coming. Oof. Not right now, but okay. What if I go queen b3? You're pinned. Now, no silly tactics with some c4. They cannot do it right now, but or pawn to a4. I have to be careful with that. I wish I had a fork, man. man. There's nothing here for me. Like, my pieces are really nice, but there's just nothing. Oh, wait. I just take. That's it. You see, when your pieces are active, tactics have to be in the air. Now, if they take with any of these two pieces, the rook is hanging. If they take with the queen, we kill him through the light squares. That's it. Weak squares, all of the pawns are on dark. In contrast, there's a weakness in the light square complex. So we just gotta look and find it. Little by little, pretending like we know what we're doing. All right, we got that one. Very nice. And we go to the next game. Now, let me update this. This 121. Okay, white pieces again. We do the same thing. Same setup. You see, my opponent is already thinking, like, what in the world is that? I think they're going to play e5 and d5. So we get into a pure defense as the white pieces. And probably they play knight f6 after, which is the classical setup. We are in our elements one move ahead. You see? That's it. We get the same thing. It might be a little bit challenging to adjust, like really see it with color reversed, but it's the same thing. Now, if I ask you, what variation is this? If we were playing the pierce defense as black, well, that bishop g4 is the burn variation. We covered it. We said any indication of queenside castling, we're going to play c3. Notice how they have not developed this too. I don't think they're going to castle kingside. So we prepare c3, b4, all of these ideas, just in case. There you go. We're getting it. And again, maybe you miss it over and over and over. At some point, on the 5th time, the 7th time, you're going to get it. Okay, I think we got to take. Why not? Okay, so knight goes to the center. There we go. I don't want to trade queens here because I improve their rook and then they control the open file, and then knight d4 is not even possible. So this is already good. I'm putting pressure on the pawn. The only question is, if they take this knight, would you take with the pawn or would you take with the queen? That's actually a great question to ask. Let me take with the pawn. If I wanted to be like, if I'm okay with it going into an endgame, I'm okay with a draw, I would take with the queen, simplify queens. But here I want to keep the pieces on the board for a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm always, look, even if I play the king's Indian attack, I'm always looking for ways to be my elements, plans and position types that I'm familiar with. So c3 is always in my elements. Simple chess. All right, this is still hanging. f3 is always nice because then we go rook e1 and we put pressure. But let me try to play bishop g5. I'm developing, putting pressure on that pawn. Fasil, what do you mean? What do you mean overwhelmed, man? Why would you be overwhelmed? Now, Thanksgiving was nice, just with family. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, this is good for us. but do we need to rush it? Yeah, I'm okay with this. So yeah, everything was great. Birthday was great too. We were, I don't know if you know the Florida Keys, very low key, very quiet. We had a great time. She was like, I want somewhere quiet. And we have more like South Beach, which is a little bit crazier. And then you have the Florida Keys, and that's what we did. And it came out just as planned. Just as planned. Okay. Queen B3. Am I missing anything? Always fresh. All right, at least we provoked that. Now I could go bishop g2 and take care of that, or just go crazy. Let me just bring all of my pieces to that king. At the end of the day, we got what we knew we were gonna get, which is opposite side castling. That bishop g4 burn is a good indicator that they were gonna prioritize queenside castling to attack our king. The point is, or the question is, who's gonna get to who first? Hello. Yeah, I agree. But I would like to think we also have something here going on. Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, you're talking about their king. I'm used to playing this as black. All right, let's see. Even d5 is in the air. I'm thinking if they take, I might just sacrifice on c6. I might. Especially if you're a beginner student. Yeah, this is still at the 1300 level, so the ideas are very, very basic. The main difference between these 1300s and less experienced players is their vision of the board is a little bit sharper, their tactics are a little bit sharper, and by tactics I mean one move combinations, 1-2 move, forks, pins, skewers. Notice that I haven't won a game here where I have done a crazy combination, 4 move lines or anything like that. Bullet, come on, man. Well, just to get as high as we can, I'm thinking something around 2400. All right. If we take, and they take, and then we take, and then they go king d7, queen b7, king e8. So far, so good. We got 2 pawns for the bishop. Their king is in pretty bad shape. But is this what we want? Is this what we really, really want? I don't think so. What to do? If I were a little bit more developed, if my knight were out, my rooks were connected, that would be great. Let me take a look at that again. Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes, king d7, queen b7. Wait. Always careful with these mates. Cha. Oh, no. I see. No, I can't. Okay. Cha. If I had it. Let me go knight c3. Yes, yes, yes. Now my pieces are connected. We're in good position. I don't think they're going to put me in checkmate right now. So we have some time here, but we have to be very, very careful. One thing that we have to get really good at as we move up the ladder is this concept of piece coordination. They have to work as a team. And when that's the case, then tactics are going to be in the air. All right. Enjoy it. And please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always replying to the comments in the course. There's like a little forum thing. And also on YouTube, just ask any questions. And if it's someone who has already had that question is gonna help you out. All right, Bishop is back. I feel much better. I do feel much better. Who is 95? Isn't that a beautiful move? Of course not. It's me. All right. Knight b5. None of this makes sense. Queen a4, it's not that bad, but it's not what I want. Queen c2 seems like the way to go, especially now that they don't have the bishop here that close. So I think they're now one step back from checkmating my king. Uh-oh. 94 have been nice. Oh, look, this would be a nice discovery. How about knight d1? Knight d1. I'm defending f2 and I'm putting pressure on c5. If knight d1, bishop goes back, I take on c6, pawn takes, queen takes, and I never get anything out of it. I think this is probably the easiest way to go about it. Don't give him anything. With this move, I forget about that diagonal forever. Okay, they went back. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. There has to be something here. Knight b5. They're not going to take, of course. So they just go back. Take. b4 would be great. If you take, rook b1, there has to be something. You see, I don't need to get fancy. I don't need to sacrifice anything if I don't see something concrete. Let's prepare it. They're very far from getting me in trouble. I thought my opponent was going to play queen d2 earlier just to get rid of that pressure on their king. Okay. At the very least, I'm going to get the pair of bishops, so they don't have the pair of bishops anymore. And we're going to go into an endgame where their pawn structure is really, really bad. I don't want this pawn. It's going to fall anyways. I don't want to open up lines towards my king. It's very nice to not have to worry about your king being attacked. b5 or knight c5. What to do? b5. b5 has to be played. b5 has to be played. Just open up lines towards that king. Yes, but hey, we have to know how to punish that. Okay, there's nothing down here. By the way, if they had taken knight b6, the queen is pinned and we're going to take it next. So that would have been horrible for them. And anytime we have opposite side castling, whoever makes contact first should win the game. So that's what we did. Okay, what to take with? Or maybe we don't take. Cha. We're gonna leave this for later. If the bishop, yeah, we got that one. All right, nothing crazy. Again, if I go from the beginning, we're just doing the same setup from the course. My opponent chooses burn variation, but I'm even one tempo ahead. Anytime I see this, C3, and then if you really, really hate this craziness, you could have taken with the queen. And then this is gonna go more into an endgame, you're gonna be okay. I wanted to go into the craziness, so I castled, got the pawn, and then just start putting pressure down here. To me, what I like the most about this game was this move, because many times I've messed it up forgetting because I got ahead of myself. Don't sacrifice. You don't need to prove anything. Coordinate your pieces, let them be the ones trying to prove something. That's it. Simple. And I started to do this when I realized that my opponents, when I played stronger opponents in tournaments, that's what they would do to me. They wouldn't go crazy after my game. After my king, they would just wait for me to make the mistake. All right, we're 122. Let's go to the next game. And there we go. Good question. I prefer meat. I do prefer meat. I mean, I like fish, certain fish, but I prefer meat. All right, knight f6. Let's see if this is... Okay, this is going to be a King's Indian defense. d4 opening. Look, I don't like to send you guys to my YouTube channel, but if you go to the YouTube channel, go to playlist, there's one that's labeled as Endgame. If you go over that, you're going to have all the endgame you need. That's more than I ever had making it to National Master. Simple king and pawn, simple rook endgames. If you have that, the next component you need is calculation. So as you train more tactics, as you play more chess, along with that foundation you're going to build, that's all you need. At least that's all I had. Now, here the same thing. I don't really know what to do. I'm going to pick this plan over knight c6, over c6. Okay, pawn to e5. This is more like a King's Indian, Bobby Fischer's favorite. Now, take with pawn or take with knight. I want to take with pawn to leave this knight here and then play 4. a6 is a very nice idea. Why? Because I want to play e4. When the knight goes to d4, I want to play c5, and then you cannot go to b5 to get to d6. Remember that one. And I use this one mainly against the London, but the bishop isn't there. So again, if I had played e4, knight d4, c5, they go knight b5 square. This move, it looks like I want to play b5 to hit the bishop. That's why they played a3. But in reality, it's all about this. Now, my knight goes to e5, hitting that bishop hanging, but more importantly, trying to get to the d3 square, which is really, really nice. Bonjour. What's going on? Hey. Woo! Congrats. Just keep it consistent and the FIDE Master title is coming. All right, let's go knight b3, knight d3. Oh, knight d3, or should I play b4? No. Let's not even try to get fancy. That's a powerful knight right there. Okay. Nope, this is actually a... Maybe you don't know, in case you don't know, my Chessable course is out there, and I'm trying to provide this as supplement to the material that we covered in the Chessable course. So I'm using the same setup, the same material that we used, the same lines we covered in that course to go as high as we can with this account. We started at 500, and here we go. So now we're now at 1344. But to answer your question, no, it's mainly this system that works against anything. It's a combo of the peers and the King's Indian defense. All right, so everything is defended. Maybe I should play bishop e6. Now, why do I want to play bishop e6? I'm thinking, I'm convinced I'm gonna play c4. Let me actually do this. And when I play c4, d4 is gonna be weak or available for this knight. And I only want him to have one knight, not two. Now, if I manage to eliminate this knight, my knight is gonna be the king of the board. Let me play c4. You might hate that move, because again, I'm giving them this square. I don't know if it was necessary. I honestly don't. But man, I do like this. I do. Ooh, I mean, I'll give it to them just to remove this knight, but no. Have no idea who that is. Okay, so now can we play 5? No, we cannot play 5. Oh, b3. Maybe I should have played a4, a5, a4. No, this falls. Knight f3 is always in the air. Now, don't forget, having the knight in this outpost is nothing if you don't use it. So now I want to see what squares it's putting pressure on, and I need to use it. I need to use its help. So there's like a base of operations here for the knight, and from there it's going to support f4. So these squares are very important, but we're going to focus on these two because the white king is on that side of the board. Now, I know they have a cheap trick here. I don't even know if it's good for them, because they could always take stakes. I don't think they want that. Let's do it. No, I don't think I've played him. And if I've played him, I probably got destroyed. All right, so we take. Thing is, we're opening up lines on the king side, and all of my pieces are on the king side. So I'm not even going to calculate that much. This has to be good for me. Takes. Then takes. Okay, I think I'm gonna go cha. Okay, let me go knight d3. Okay, we calculated this far. Again, you can see how my knight goes back to the same outpost. Very good. Now, we gotta take here. Very good. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Now, this is gonna be ours, but do we take here first? What to do, huh? I'm gonna keep the bishop. It's too good to trade it. Plus, this is gonna be, I don't know. I feel like this knight cannot move. My bishop is too good. But even if I take it, this is a pass pawn, man. They don't care. They just don't care. Okay, this is not gonna do anything. How are you gonna defend it? 96. That one I didn't see. I mean, rook f7. What's the big deal? I guess that's the big deal. There has to be a big deal here. This is mine. Okay, do I really care about what you're doing? I guess I should care. What? Okay, we're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over it now. But it's basically because all of my... I want to attack on the king side, right? I explained how the knight is in the outpost, helping me attack there. I want to play f4. So I want all of my pieces concentrated on that side of the board. And you could see how they helped out. The moment we break everything open, my rook was ready to help. Okay, so this is check. Now I'm ready to support the knight through here, or actually I don't need to support that. If they play this, I could just advance. Let's go after the pawn. I don't think this is the way to go, but it is what I got. Maybe rook f2 and knight f4 was the way to go. Take, c2, and then we're gone. Probably not necessarily that fancy tactic. Always be careful they have no checks. I mean, we promote and we're good. All right, we got that one. We got that one. And let me take a look at the question you asked. Why rook e8? I think I already explained it, but just to make sure we are good. Okay, 123. And let me actually go from the beginning. So again, this system, it's looking like a collie. Look at the bishop behind. But if the bishop is on f4, it's like a London. So I'm choosing the same setup. e5. Taking with the pawn, fork in the air. They said no. a6, again, very important line or very important idea. a6, because I want to play e4, c5, and I don't want him to land here. Then the question was, why over here did we play rook e8? Now, if you split the board in half, notice how we have piece concentration on the king side. I got 4 pieces out of 6 on the king side. So I need to be attacking there. f5 is coming and f4. But if I play f5 right now, knight e6 is annoying, right? So rook e8 only makes sense to cover e6, but also to join the rest of the pieces and attack there. That's it. That's it. f4, and then in due time, and by the way, here I probably messed it up. I can't know where to go. But it made sense to me, and by the time we opened up the position, my pieces are better placed to do so. So here, according to the engine, this is already 2 points for the black pieces. Now, knight takes b2 was the move. I was really hesitating, should I take on d4? Second best move, but which you have taken. Yeah, here you have taken. Now you have taken. And look how beautiful this is. We got protected pass pawn, isolated pawn is gonna go nowhere after rook d8. But I got too fancy. And of course, 96, rook f7. I thought they were going to find a way to incorporate the bishop, but I guess it's too long. All right, we got that one. Let's go to the next one. Thank you. I'm going to pretend like that's the case. Okay, white pieces again. Let's do it. And here we go. Probably we get the same thing as the... No. We're going to get e5. So Pierce defense. Nope. Jobaba London or e5. And of course, those are the wrong names. Okay. Queenside development over kingside development. Leverage pawn to play g5, h5. This is crazy chess. They're going to go probably to the opposite side. So play c3. Then I play b4. No. I'm going to play queen a4. When I see this bishop on f5, instead of e6, or as black, if they have it on f4 instead of e3, I like my queen on a4. But that's just me. Let me go knight b to d2. Now e4 is very interesting. Yeah, let's do it. I typically play it with b4, b5. Okay, this, I'm not even going to play around with it. I was going to go back, which is the natural square for the queen, but what e3? I don't understand either. I don't think I ever want to take that pawn. It's a poison pawn. they get too much activity, but at least we put pressure on it. Let me take knight a5 and they get it right back. But again, just to make them uncomfortable. I'm thinking knight a5, I go back. If you take, I might have a tactic here. No. All right, c4 should do it. b4 should do it. I don't understand. b4 has to be the move, man. But c4 is so nice. Okay, if I go b4, knight b7, and let's say I play a3, and then you take, I got knight e5. I'm gonna hold on to that pawn. I'm that greedy. Plus, I think it's very annoying for them to have the pawn there. So they gave me a chance. I'm gonna take it. You got it, mister. Like always, thanks for all the support. Thanks for being here. And yes, this is going to be on YouTube after the fact. I think we had someone here in the stream the other day with that username, but I don't know. Don't know much about it. Castle, do we play a3? Give me castle. Now, my opponent is down a pawn, so I'm thinking he has no choice but to start putting pressure, so probably f5 and things like that. I want to play b4. Knight e4 was probably better. Get rid of the bishop, then you could play b4 without a3. Look, when I play as white, many times it takes that shape of the King's Indian attack, but I'm trying to prioritize the same lines we play as black and the ones that we covered in the Chessable course. All right, where are you going, my friend? Still don't know, so we play b4. Hey, I'm from Cuba. Good question. Vasil, I think it's gonna be Tuesday. For certain Tuesday. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do any live streaming. But on Tuesday, I'm going to. Anyways, I'm gonna try to schedule it from tomorrow. That way you have time to know when it's gonna be. All right. Okay, this comes with a tempo. No, it doesn't come with a tempo. Well, sort of. So if they take, no, okay, I gotta take you out. You cannot stay on d4. To take followed by bishop f4, or not to take followed by bishop f4. I mean, simplification makes sense for me. I'm up a pawn. I got a protected pass pawn. Why not? You got it. All right. We'll play rook e1. Just improve my pieces, nothing fancy. Take a look at both. Pick the one you enjoyed the most. Pick the one you like. That's the answer. Pick the one you like. Let me go rook b1. With my pieces. I'm old school, so I'm always gonna say books, but you have to try them both. And then so people learn different, so you gotta see what works best for you. I think it's there forever. So yeah, once you purchase it, you have access to it. Which is, look, you have to pay for it, but once you pay for it, you can go over it as many times as you like. You have the video if you buy with the video, or just the content with it. To me, the best thing out of Chessable is the move trainer. For me, it's way easier to memorize things there. Not for me, everyone agrees on that. And look, I have a lot of people who come to me from YouTube. Hey, I like what you're doing on YouTube. Can you teach me private lessons to learn the Pierce defense? And they pay me sometimes 3 hours, like 3 different lessons, sometimes more, to learn the Pierce defense in detail. And we don't even get close to what we have on the Chessable course. So just know it's there. I think they have like a promotional discount now for another like 5 days or I don't know, something around that. But yeah, it's gonna be there forever. And not only that, people have been asking questions all over when they started, right? Like any kind of question. So I'm always there replying too. So you have the content plus my support, plus if there's something you don't understand, you could run it with the engine. You could look for games played by masters using those lines. So yeah, that's the answer. All right, so this was a cheap trick because the pawn is pinned on the rook. When they move the rook up, it's hanging, and now we take advantage of it. Now, I'm not even gonna think about this twice. Give me the knight. Now, what do we take? I gotta take you. Or should I play c6? No, I have to take you. Or d6. Look, let me not even get fancy. Give me this pawn. I'm winning by 3 pawns. I mean, is this gonna be a thing? Nope. Or bishop c6. I have to tell you, as much as I like my position now, I know I'm winning. I also know that I have to be very careful not to get checkmated. My light scores are gonna be weak if I get rid of my bishop. Ooh, isn't this a beautiful move? Is it necessary is the question. Rook e6 if you take pin, but is it necessary? Now I'm thinking that the queen has nowhere to go actually. You have to back up. Am I missing anything? You don't know how many times I've tried to be fancy like this and this, and then there is a simple thing I missed and boom, I dropped the game. You got it, thanks for being here. Okay, they don't want that. They don't want that trouble in their lives. And this, my friends, is how we eliminate any counterplay. I'm up a bishop anyways, but I don't have to worry about anything. Now I just need my queen to get to h4 and we checkmate. So let me go. Let me offer. No. Let me go here. Welcome to the club. But hey, you keep at it, and one day you get the hang of it, and boom, you start to do more. You start to get it more often. You start to get it right more often. Oof, it's a huge difference. Engines are never gonna play like people. Especially when you are, when the engine is losing, like in an inferior position, in a worse position, they start making the silliest mistakes. When you play a person, they keep grinding until the end, giving you a hard time, and yeah, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. You got it, guys. You got it. Thanks, like always, for dropping by. Thanks for the support. And yes, it will be on YouTube. Exactly. They're like, I'm not even gonna try anymore. Did I have? No, I didn't have that. Queen h4, rook h5, check, and mate. No, that was not mate. But close. Oh, wait. Check. And then bishop e4, that's nice. I think I could do it now. I was getting too fancy. I think this is the only move that makes sense. So I was thinking this. This has to be winning. That's it. It's a fork. It's a pin. It defends my rook like an X-ray. Yeah, that bishop has been great throughout the game. That rook e6 was nice. And now bishop e4 again. Everything because of the light squares. It's a pork. Well, whatever you want to call it, all I know is that we got this one. I mean, I can mess that up, but not at this point. Okay, mate. If they go, or if they play g6, then checkmate. All right, we got this one. Let me update the score. We got 124 wins. We keep bragging about it. And what did I do? What did I do? Next one. Buenas tardes, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Okay, same thing. White pieces, we do the same setup. All right, it looks like it looks like we're going to get the same thing. Now, from here, they could do the setup, the classical setup. They could do the burn that we've seen a lot. They could do sort of like the Austrian or the 150. Okay, that's the classical with castle. Okay, same thing. Prioritizing queenside. I'm not even going to hesitate. C3 before b5, just in case you want to go after. Say no more. Yeah, let me play b4, b5, and give me the pawn. All right, so you defended. Knight b to d2. Now they still have this flexibility. And if they go to the queen side, this is perfect. If they don't, well, I have space on this side of the board anyways. Okay, we strike the center because their king is in the center. So let's try to get to it. Yes, of course. Look, I'm I'm recommending it to you guys. So every time I recommend something to you, I've tested it and I'm satisfied with it. Like the Chessable course before, when they contacted me, the first thing I did was to buy some courses on Chessable and see if I liked it. And I'm glad I did. So that's why I'm happy with it. The chess mode, they're great. And they gave me access to their content. I took a look, very good look. And it's good. They have it really, really good. Okay, so b5. It has to be played. Yeah, I think so. It has to be played. Like that one, I did it by instinct because I've done it so many times already. But it requires some calculation. Yeah, I think I'm getting material, right? They cannot take again because I get the queen with check. So I think we just got some material. Now knight c4. That's it. This pawn is falling. We don't know when, but it's falling. Simplification is what we want. I don't know if I want to do it so early. I don't know if I want to get that bishop that is not really doing much. This pawn is in the air, or is hanging actually. Okay, that was a nice move, man. I cannot tell you it's not. But what are you going to do when I take, queen d5? Then I take and you take. Knight d6, you go back, and then you get happy. Take, you take. I might be missing something, but I don't think so. Okay, double check. Takes, bishop takes, knight takes. If the queen moves, I take. If you take with check, I go back. I'm happy with that. If you take over here, then I take. I'm okay. I'm going to be up a piece at the end. Now, if I take, you take, I take. What can you do with this? Knight f2. I get the queen. I'm okay with this, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. This is what we calculated, right? But what if we take now? If you take rook e1, right? Let me go. At the right time, yes. Tactics always in the air. Now look, this is something very recurring. Like we see it over and over and over and over. So as you play more, as you go over the material, you have it 100%. Okay. Check. But before, it's simply to prepare an attack on the queen side. They never castled. But when I saw those bishop h3 and so on, I know that if they do castle, it's to the king side. So I'm already telling them I'm ready for you. e4, it's ultimately what we want in these systems. Everyone starts, or we learn to start with e4 on the first move or d4. We're basically saying as hyper-modern players, I know I have to do it, but I'm going to do it whenever I want. And that whenever I want is don't take too long because they might just control the center completely. So when you have developed your pieces, it's time to play e4. Of course, that timing, as you play more, as you lose a lot of games, you're going to get the hang of it. Yeah, bishop f4 had to be played. Now, the worst thing, believe it or not, is not that they're down a piece, is that their king's still in the center. It is still in the center. Can we punish them for that? Probably not. What can I tell you? Now, let me not get fancy. We put pressure on the pawn. They cannot play before, which is what they wanted, because this is pinned. Ah, I said it, it's pinned. All right, there you go. We got this one, same setup. Let me, okay, we got the black pieces. 125. And we played d6. Look, that's always, we get that a lot. I always say the same thing. If I have to tell you the best, I would tell you play the Sicilian against e4, play maybe the Indian against d4. But just know those openings come with a lot of memorization, a lot of really deep understanding you have to know. And that's why I always say there's not such a thing. You just got to find an opening that you like, that you find some connection with based on your style, your personality. And that's what's going to do it. For me, this system is what I've always played. And many people actually criticize me for it, but I'm okay with it. Why do I have to play something else? All right, so I'm going to take on e5. Now, look, I'm not gonna lie. To really fight for, if you really want to fight for a win, you want to get an edge from the beginning. You want an opening like the Sicilian defense, right? The main reason why I never played it is because you have to learn a lot. So I always use the same reference. Gukesh, his coach, I saw an interview. Actually, Chessmood did an interview to his coach. And one of the things that the coach said is something that I have always applied for myself, which is, he says, a lot of his students don't even use a computer engine, a chess engine, until they get to a really advanced, like 2400, something like that. And for the most part, he prefers when his students play an opening that the engine doesn't like that much, but that they really understand, compared to or opposed to someone who plays an opening that the engine really likes, but they don't really understand the positions. And then he talks about, they want to play this and then go around. Let me play bishop e6. And then he talks about this idea of when you look at your opening lines, when the theory is over, he says, play that position against the strongest computer that you can find. And if you play 10 moves, 8 to 10 moves, and you don't damage the position, that means you really understand it. If you play it and then 8, 10 moves after it, you're completely destroyed, that means you don't really understand it. So the most important thing is for you to really understand the positions. And that's what I've done, a little bit because of laziness, but also because I've realized that memorizing so much opening theory really doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. All right, we're going to an endgame. Let's see how this goes. Only way around it, guys. Only way around it. Look, if Magnus has to study, we have to do it. We have to do it. No, I just learned it, just like I learned any other table games, like cards and dominoes and checkers. That's it. Okay, but then I'll tell you this. I play f6, just to forget about this, right? If you play, like, look, Chessable, they recommend the accelerated dragon, right? And you know, I recommended, hey guys, check out Chessable and so on. So a lot of my students and friends, they actually checked it out. They liked it a lot. They start to play the accelerated dragon. But then many people come to me to tell me, hey, every time I play e4, c5, no one is playing all of these lines that are memorized. The open Sicilian. Everyone is playing the anti-Sicilians, like the Alapin, which is c3 in the second move. The closed Sicilian with knight c3 in the second move. F4 was the name for it, the Grand Prix attack. So you memorize all of those lines, and then when you get to a tournament, you play maybe 3-4 games as black, and no one plays the open Sicilian. So all of those hours you spent, probably was better to use them to do tactics, strategy, endgames, and things like that. But anyways, that's me. That's lazy me. All right. King f7, it's an endgame. And this is the last thing I want to say about that. A lot of people pick their openings many times based on what the elite players are playing. Oh, I want to play this because Nakamura plays it. I want to play this because Carlsen plays it. And I always tell my students, you got to play what they used to play when they were like you at your level. What did they play? Probably was not it was not what they're playing now. But anyhow, let me go. Okay, I'm gonna trade. I'm gonna trade. I want to trade this for this and this for this, because it's not about what you trade, it's about what you leave on the board. And I want to leave them with this bishop that is blocked by its own pawns. Okay, this actually. All right, if I manage to trade this knight, they're going to be left with this very ugly bishop. I need to play c5. I don't think they will let me. Okay, let me go here. Knight c5 is probably coming. Yep. Now, bishop 2 squares away from the knight. So that means we control the knight. Now, let me play a5. Is it necessary? Yeah, I don't want him to play b4. Also, I'm keeping their pawns on light squares, just like this bishop. There you go, there you go. You're right. You're right. That's what I'm saying. If you like it, then that's it. Put in the time, and you have a good opening, definitely. Okay, c5. c5, or do I want to play 97, 96, 94? c5, 93. Bishop d7, knight d5. Bishop c6. These guys are just too good. They're just too good. What can I tell you? Yeah, it happens. It happens to me with Twitch. YouTube is perfect, guys. It's the same username on YouTube if you want to switch to YouTube, and it should be perfect there. But yeah, I know on Twitch at some point it starts to happen. Some people have said if you watch it on 1050, I think it's the resolution, it's better. Just let me know. Well, if you use the lines that I recommended on YouTube or on the Chessable course, you don't have to worry about the bajonet because I've always avoided that line. All right, same thing. Let me go. Bishop e6. Always the bishop 2 squares away from the knight. I have to be honest, I wanted this square for my knight to get to d4, but you cannot have it all. My bad then. Go to YouTube. Don't be lazy. Go to YouTube. Okay, this is gonna give us. It's interesting. This is gonna give us a protected pass pawn, but it's gonna give him some room here to annoy me. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, isolated pawn on a light square. e6 is available for my knight, but d5 is available for their knight. Okay, so what do we do, my friend? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All right, I'm gonna claim I have the better bishop. My pawns are on dark squares. Their pawns are on light squares. Can I take advantage of this? I don't know. About f5, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna play b5 so that they play a4, and then all of their pawns are on light squares. Nonsense, I know. Okay, no, they didn't. Let's do it. It's an option. It is an option indeed. I'm thinking b4. I'm thinking c4. No. All right, c5 is available for my king. A4 is always in the air, getting me a passed pawn. Always on dark squares. Their bishop is not that dangerous to me right now. If I manage to provoke g4, that's it. All of their pawns on light squares. Okay. My bishop can attack their pawns. They cannot say the same thing. That's it. Forget about this move because this is hanging. And this is going. Okay, a3 has to be winning. Okay, I could just take. But I don't know if that's winning. a3, you take my bishop, I go a2. Now, if I go a3, what are you going to do about it? Probably king c1. Then I go a2, you go king b2. Think. Cha, 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 cha. I don't think I have to push this. I actually don't. I don't know if black is winning because of this pawn, man. I just don't know. Okay. Let me take it easy. Let me do this. I want to be able to get on this diagonal. I want to be able to get on this diagonal. Yeah, if I hadn't done this move and the pawn is on h3, the white pawn, I couldn't have done bishop g4. So always being careful with those details. This is gone, this is gone. The only defender of the bishop. Thank you. Glad to see that you are enjoying it. And yeah, like I've said many times before, that what I had getting started all the way to National Master was way less than what you have there. So just take your time with it. Make sure that you do lots of tactics and you play games. And let me know if you have any questions. So thanks for dropping by. Okay, we got this one. As you can see, our games are getting more to an endgame and nothing complex, just simple details. Good bishop versus bad bishop and so on. All right, let's go to the next one. So that's number 126. We got the black pieces. Bro, it'll be much easier for me, but I really want to make sure that we have the time to explain the moves. Don't forget, guys, this is going to be left on YouTube. You can review it as many times as you like. You can fast forward if you will, but don't rush me. Don't rush me. Hello. Okay, what am I playing here? C6 because they played bishop e3. Okay, h3. What is this for? Well, very similar to f3. So I'm gonna go b5. It's a leverage pawn anyways. Okay. If I have to play right away, I'll play b4. But if I have to think about it, what if I take, and then knight d7? Or take, and then knight d5? No, knight d5 is not an option. b4, you take, I take. You take, I take. And then you take. This e6. Okay. Cha. Maybe knight d7 is knight f to d7 is the move. Is it? d5 is always very annoying. So b4, you take my knight, I take your knight, you take on e7. This d5 is so annoying. Cha cha cha. Let's go with this, and we review after. The annoying move here is always e6, but I think we'll be fine. Now let me quickly develop and castle. Welcome aboard. Thank you. All right, now let's castle. Their king's still in the center. I don't think they're gonna go crazy and attack me. No, that's a good question. And that's the whole point. In the course, we're talking about getting to this setup and then the plan. So in the course, let's say you studied that course, you're going to be fine up to here. Now this e5, we talk about how you should take, right? That's why we put the pawn here in the first place. So I'm sure you're gonna get here. Now, all of these ideas of knight d7, knight d5 before, we talk about it over and over. So those ideas are gonna come to mind. Now, you gotta apply common sense and go with the right move. Let's say you don't. Let's say you make the worst move here. Fine. If you get destroyed, don't get frustrated. Go and review it after, and then you learn. But this is already, we're already on move number 10, and I'm pretty sure we're in good shape here. If we're not, we improve on it. You cannot pretend, guys, any course to give you everything easy there for you to memorize. It's not going to happen. There's too many lines, too many abbreviations. So you better rely on ideas and plans and so on. Now, with that said, f6, I know we talked about it too, to break this. Is this the right time to do it? Probably not. b4 I like, knight b6. Yeah, let me go knight b6. They still need to castle, and I need to improve these two pieces. All right, so they castled. Now b4 is always in the air. We're gonna use it now because I would like my knight to get to d5. Also, my bishop would like to go to a6. I don't like it right now because after they take and pawn takes, the b5 pawn is going to be hanging, right? So knight d5, knight takes, pawn takes, or if queen takes, pawn takes, this is always in the air. And I know because I've messed it up before, so I finally learned. So b4, now I want to play knight d5 with a tempo. Bishop has to stay here, or I take this guy for free with a tempo on this bishop. If they go back, guess what? Queen b6 comes in, and this has to be very nice for us. Well, you know what? If they go back, I might just play bishop f5. If the knight goes to c5, then I go queen b6, pinning it. Let's see. Oh, they said none of the above. Huh, there's no tactic here? I guess there's no tactic. No, there has to be a tactic. Okay, let me go here. Now, let's say they do something like knight g3. Should I take on c2 first, or should I go knight e3 first? Exactly. Yeah, probably taking on c2 makes more sense. Okay, we knew that could happen. Now, do we take on c2 or take on c2? Seems very nice. If I take on c2, rook c1. Then bishop a4, b3, bishop b5. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Eh. All right, if it's not the move, I'm gonna blame it on you. I'm going to blame it on you. Exactly. All right. I think it's time to go back. Now this move will be losing because we got the fork. So I'm thinking b3, bishop b5, sorry, b3, bishop b5, bishop takes, pawn takes. Would be a better option for them, but we'll see. I cannot do that. And that, my friend, is what I missed. I cannot do that. All right. Mistakes happen. I calculated this far, and then I was like, oh, e6 is okay. But no, it's not. Now, I don't have queen c7. I don't have knight a6. Takes. I might. No, I don't. Okay, so this is when we have to give the material back, or give something, and try to prove that my bishop is better than their rooks. Actually, my knight is better than their rooks. Now, this is probably gonna come over. Now, again, never get frustrated if this happens to you. Try to treat it as a training exercise. Can I turn this around? Can I find resources? Can I find resources? Okay, check. No. All right, let's try to complicate it. I want to leave it for the right moment. I don't think it's gonna accomplish much right now. But what for? What's the follow-up? Maybe there's something I'm not saying, but I just see a check. They move out the way. And what next? I'm gonna leave it for the right moment. Yeah, but 93 they could take on d7, right? And then even if I get the rook, they get 2 knights for the rook. I don't think that's what I want. Now, if they lift this knight, I might want to go to h4. I don't think so. I have g3. Okay, they lifted the knight. Now we have no choice but to play that. Okay, I'm gonna take. There has to be something. All right, I have nothing to lose, so I'm not even going to calculate much. G3 is going to happen. I'm going to stay on this side of the board. And let's hope we can create something. How? I don't know. This rook has a pretty nice file. Okay, you get the pawn. What was that knight doing before? It was doing nothing. Let's go. Okay, so we're getting in there. Not really doing much, but making them stress a little bit. And when people are stressed, tactics are going to start showing up. They're going to start making mistakes. I just need something. A passed pawn, a threat, something. And again, the moment they push the pawn, every time we move a pawn, weaknesses are created. In this case, f3 became available. Okay, there's nothing hanging. There has to be something hanging. So threats. Oh man, almost. It almost works. Okay, so we gotta get out. I wish I knew what I'm doing, but I don't. Just pretend like you know what you're doing. My knight is a monster where it is. Let's try to hold on to it. Hey. Thank you. I was trying to. See, a pass pawn something. Now we're up. Off we go. Whew, all right, I thought we were not gonna make it. I thought we were just not gonna make it. Now let me see back here. What should I have done instead? Okay, right here. Bishop f5, knight g3. And no, the better move. Actually, it's about, yeah, bishop c2 was a better move. Then here, bishop a4. Okay. So apparently bishop b5 is losing. The move is indeed queen a5. You gotta pull either queen a5 or bishop h6. Bishop b5 is losing. And I know I didn't like my pawn structure, but I couldn't think of anything else. Queen a5. So pay attention to that idea, register it, and after you miss it another 5 times, then you're gonna remember it. All right, we got this one. Let me update the score. All right, black pieces. All right. Enjoy it, and thanks for the support. And ask me any questions you might have. There's a section there where I'm just answering questions, so just know it's available, and enjoy it. All right, London system. We're gonna do the same setup. All right. All right, remember from here, you could play e5, or you could play b6, bishop b7. I'm going with b5 mainly because the bishop is on d3, and I really hope they let me play this. They said no. I cannot do it because my knight is pinned. Oh, I could have done it. Yeah, I'm used to this knight being here. I missed it. And because I missed it, I don't deserve to win this. I'm so aware. That's it. Bishop g5, e4. Give me the pawn. Give me the piece. I'm sorry. Fork. All right, guys. Welcome to my life. All right. Knight looks for a weak square because the dark square bishop is gone. All right. There has to be something. Nah, there is nothing. So we keep developing our pieces. No more. No more. Yes, you're right about that. I'm not even going to say anything because it's true. I'm playing too fast. Playing too fast. All right, let's get out of the way. Let's not rush it. Now, c6, we always do it. There's no knight ready to jump over to d5, so no need to get ahead of ourselves. Let me play g5. I cannot say it's a great move because f5 becomes available, so I could see something like knight going around to get to f5. But I think it's going to take a while. Something dropped. And by the way, I wanted to play h4, h5 and attack there. Give me that. I'm up a pawn enough for me to simplify the game. That's it. I only want to put pressure on it. That's it. We put pressure on it, put pressure on it, put pressure on it. We're ready to just take. Are we ready for it? I don't think so. And then take. But if I take, they could take with. Now my bishop is blocked by this pawn. Always, we've talked about this before. Find a way to incorporate it to a better diagonal. And this is something that we get a lot. Oh, when I play this, the King's Indian defense or the pure defense, and I play 5, my bishop is blocked. Well, you could find a way to reincorporate it. All right. c6 has to be played. If you take, yeah, I have to play it. If they take, now we go in between move, check, eliminating the knight, and the rook hangs. Ooh, what do we take with now? That's it. This is hanging. If they take with the queen, we simplify even more, and boom. Yeah, we're up a clean rook. All right, we got that one. Another London. And d3, same setup as the white pieces. 128. Now we're playing 1400s, so different story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, this might get into the Austrian waters. Let's see if they play d5. Oh, wait, can we play this? Let's do it. Now, this plan, we see it in the classical chapter, the central fork, but we could do it here too. We see the same elements, why not? And basically what we're doing is we're taking these central pawns and we're just getting rid of them. That's it. Yeah, that's a well-known phenomenon. I know exactly what you mean. I'm thinking if you castle, this would be a nice check. But the knight's there. Now if I go bishop g5, makes no sense. This is dropping. Let me play c3. Just to make this bishop really, really bad. You're trying to play this. I think so. C4 doesn't make any sense. Now this idea also of challenging the central pawns with our flank pawns, we see it a lot in the course. Let's try to apply it. Oof. All right, I don't think b5 is possible. Of course, we got bishop c6. Yeah, that was another plan that I was considering. Very thematic, very interesting. Notice how something that we see a lot too is how our opponents at this rating range, they don't really castle that much. But it could be also because they feel the need to punish us because of our opening choice. Thank you for dropping by and for letting me know. Anyways, when you start using those lines and you start finding uncomfortable positions, let me know either here or on the course forum, and I'll be happy to assist you with that, right? Regardless of the opening, you're always going to find a line that is annoying to you. So we have to find ways to make it pleasant. All right. They say keep the pawn. I just want to simplify the game a little bit. Cha 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 cha. Okay, what to do? Okay, I'm gonna go into an endgame where I have my bishop versus this knight. It's an open position. Let's go with that. I have a feeling they're gonna take with the knight, and then this is gonna come with a tempo. They could, but maybe. Let's see. No, it's just water, guys. Just water. Okay, they took with the rook. Fine. Okay, I improved my bishop with a tempo. I don't drink. Like, you know, sometimes if I'm thirsty, I get to a restaurant and it's hot in Miami. I might order a beer, but I take a sip and then it just goes to waste. Don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it that much. Come on. Now I gotta prove that my knight is better. I mean, my bishop is better than their knight, but we'll see. Yeah, he's at a different level. The rest of us, we have to make sure we get there on time. We eat our vegetables, make sure that we eat the hours that we need to. I mean, we sleep the hours we need to. Sorry. Okay. Let's do it. Active pieces are the ones winning the game, winning the end game. In the end game, active pieces. Oof, I almost made a huge mistake. 95 was going to be annoying. Very annoying. All right, let me bring the king over, but 94 is going to be here. Doesn't really do anything. Maybe this was better. I should have gone through, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but I felt like they didn't have to take. That's why I didn't do it. I considered it. And also, I don't want to be pushing pawns. I don't want to be pushing pawns when I need to improve my king. Remember, in the end game, you want to improve your pieces by the, well, at least I like to do that, by the point value they have. So we got the rook as 5, king is 3.5, bishop is 3. So we should be improving the rook first, then the king, then the bishop. Now, I'm going to take a moment here just to put pressure on these guys. Probably they have to go back with the knight. I go rook d6. a5 might happen. I'm ready to leave them with really bad pawn structure on the king side. Yeah, that's happening right now. Un placer, y gracias por estar acá. All right. Yeah, this is just going to be very nice to pick you up, my friends. Now, this rook over here, I wanted to do it for a long time because that way they cannot push the a pawn. Yeah, no, don't let them play h4. Then, even if we get the pawn, they could find ways to get you in trouble. Rook d6. Take takes. I go here. You got a majority. Cha-cha-cha-cha. a5, I take it. Cha-cha-cha-cha. I'm not so certain about the pawn endgames. With the rook, I could go after the weak pawns and they're gonna fall. Something is going to fall. They still cannot put this majority in motion. Okay, now your king is gonna be further back. Cha-cha-cha. Cha. Okay, if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna do it ever. So I'm taking this. Now I cannot go this way. This would be a very easy win, but pum, 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 pum. So I gotta go this way. Distant opposition, that's right. Distant opposition. And now opposition. All right. This has to be the final, this is the blow. The final blow is a4. You see, we do it at the right time. That's it. Now, if they don't take us, we take them, we get the pawn. If they take, we take, and just like that, there's no majority anymore. So this should be an easy win now. Okay, opposition. And we get the pawn. What if I go g4? No, that could be a disaster. I don't need that in my life. I could take. I'm gonna take. And like I said before, this is just king and pawn endgame. Basic king and pawn endgame. All right, we got that one, and we made it to 1399. You gotta be kidding me. All right, so let's go to the next one. And if we win, we make it to 1400. Let me update also over here. So that's 129. We got the black pieces. We're playing a 1427. All right, interesting. I've seen this a lot. Instead of playing knight c3, which is the main line, people play bishop d3. Now Austrian, or something similar, actually. I'm gonna castle. Let me play bishop g4. See. Well, yeah, on YouTube I had recommended the c5 a lot, but in the Chessable course we get into this castle instead of c5. Okay, we gotta play 5. Interesting. Okay, so we take. And then we put pressure. It's all about putting pressure on that center. Many people are afraid of that center. For us, we really want to put pressure on it. Okay, I'm going back just to really put pressure on it. All right, I think we got what we wanted, and we got a tactics in the air. And that center, look how that center went from powerful center to being completely destroyed. That's it. I might be missing something, but I think I'm getting my bishop back. All right, what do we take with? Do we take with the queen or do we take with the knight? My instinct is to take with the queen, tempo on the bishop, taking with the knight. This is my next. I wish I knew. I'm gonna take with the bishop, with the queen. Tactics, tactics, tactics. Always in the air. Uh-oh. I thought I had something nicer. I have to have something. They have to deal with this, and they have to deal with this. That was not necessary, my friend. I feel like I'm getting too fancy. I feel like I'm trying to get too many tactics, and it could backfire. I should be safe. Like, where's this knight going? I'm very happy to get 2 minor pieces for the rook. Knight and bishop for the rook, anytime. The only thing I had to check for was this rook f3, but it shouldn't be a big deal. We just move out of the way. All right. Pam, pam, pam. Careful with rook f3. Cannot forget about that. Now here we have to calculate this rook c1, but I think knight d2 should take care of it. If they take, we take this one. Of course they could take this pawn, but nobody cares. Well, I guess they care. Yeah. We had to do it. Probably. Look, I'm not saying my queen c4 was the move. Probably knight c4 was it. I think I was a little bit concerned about rook c1. And then these two on the same... it should have been okay. There were many ways to win this. Now, they don't have many options, either rook b1 or rook d1. Most of the time, the 2 minor pieces simply outplay the rook. It's simply too much. Queen c5. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And this time, I'm always thinking that way, but this time, I really wanted this knight f2. I wanted to get something out of it. Now, they know this is coming. And the queen cannot go anywhere to control f2. All right. Okay, now my first instinct, or our first impulse, is gonna be taking the rook, but what if we have something else? Maybe queen c7. It might just be something. Again, every time I get this fancy, something tells me, remember last time you got destroyed because you missed a detail. Just taking the rook is winning for certain. But let's take. Thing is that now I have, when I open that, I have a fork if they take the knight. Yeah, this should be resign. That's it. All right, guys, we made it to 14:08. I'm going to leave it here. Let me update this. If you have any questions, of course, just let me know. And that's 1:30. Bum, bum, bum. All right, there you go. So just know if you get the course, you can ask me questions there or here. Check out, there are a lot of questions asked already. And that's it, guys. That's it. Any other question, just happy to help. Happy to help. My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, as you can see, the games are getting way better than when we started at 500, of course. Many of them are going to the end game, so we have to be very careful and not run out of gas because they're going to be longer games. Ed, what's going on, man? All right, guys. See ya. Be safe.